Hi everyone, this is Usha Pandit, your Mindsprings English teacher. Today I'm going to go into a totally new segment, the pre-primary segment. As an educator, as a teacher, I have toured the length and breadth of this country, visited thousands of schools, trained thousands of teachers, and got them to use my English textbooks, Empowering English, that goes from grade 1 to 8, Language with Ease that goes from 1 to 7, and Writing with Ease. The problem has always been where I have felt that the foundations of the child were a bit shaky. Having looked at the pre-primary segment, what I found is that it is not organized. There doesn't seem to be any serious training happening, but more than that, there doesn't seem to be a philosophy of education. Now, when you say pre-primary education, it is not just about getting admissions, putting children into a pre-primary class, a nursery, the junior KG and the senior KG, and then getting them to write and read ABC for 3 years and somehow getting them to start reading in grade 1. This is how the normal schools think. What happens then is that in grade 1 and 2, they find that they have not succeeded, that there are a large number of students in grade 1 and 2 who are not able to read and write. And then the worst part of that is the reading and writing they will still learn, but you have children who have very few ideas. That's, I think, the bigger problem. So looking at all this, I've decided to do a series of videos on the pre-primary child. And today we are going to start at the beginning. So let's start looking at this question: who is the pre-primary child? Who are you teaching? Who is this child? Let's look at that first. Therefore, I put it for you in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points here that I'm going to talk about. Do listen in. If you have a child, if you are a teacher, if you are a parent, if you are a grandmother, you need these videos. A child is curious, playful, active, imaginative, and creative. We need to understand the nature of the child. This is the nature of the child. He is not meant to sit in a classroom and read and write the alphabet. He is meant to be playful and to be active and to be curious. In fact, all of us are this. Essentially, every human being, this is his nature. Somewhere along the way, we have lost it. And the times when we gain the most pleasure and we have a lot of fun is the times where we indulge our curiosity and our playfulness, and where we are active and we participate in things and we enjoy imagination and fantasy, and when we start creating things. So this is the human nature. And in the child, you see that human nature in its most pristine, in its most pure conditions. That's who the child is. We must never forget this. The second point to remember is that the child is a natural language learner. And why is that? Because it is about, language is about survival. So you look at a small child. If he wants something, he needs to ask for it. Often there is a lot of competition between his siblings who are all wanting the same thing. The child will soon recognize that you need to ask for things, you need to cry for them, and you need to get them. So his pre-verbal, the first stages that he goes through is the communication stage of crying, isn't it? And then he starts cooing, and then he starts babbling. But all those stages are preparatory stages for him to start talking. So if we recognize that we are hardwired, our brain is hardwired to make sure that we speak. It's a natural skill. Whether you are born in a palace or whether you are born in a slum or you are sitting under a bridge with your construction worker parents, you will learn spoken language from the environment. You will learn spoken language from your parents, and that's a fact. You do not need a teacher. You do not need anyone to do any kind of vocabulary charts with you. All of us pick up our mother tongue by the time we are 2 years old without any instruction. So when the child walks in to schools at the age of 3 into that nursery, we need to treat him with respect because he has already mastered a language without any adults, implicit or direct intervention into his language learning journey. So this is one of those things to remember, that it is instinctive. All of us will learn language. All of us will learn the hardest language on earth if we are born into those families. There is nothing that is hard or easy. Everybody learns it when they are 2 years old. It's just something that I want you to take a minute to absorb, because in the next videos I'm going to show you what we are going to do with that child when he enters school, and that's going to be a bit of a shock. The third one is the child can learn 5 to 10 new words every day. Between the ages of 2 and 6, this child can absorb 3 to 4 languages. Between the ages of 2 to 6, which is the most fertile period for language acquisition, you will find children absorb language very, very easily. So people who tell you that second and third languages should be started in grade 3 or in grade 5, or tell you, look at those children, they started in grade 5 and they are doing well, or whatever, they are taking you for a ride, because it is not scientific. Scientifically, the bottom bit where in 2 years that boy picked up the language on his own is the best time. Nature is showing you that is the best time for languages. So therefore, 5 to 10 new words can be picked up, and he can have 3 to 4 languages under his belt depending upon his environment. So if he's got a nanny at home who speaks nothing but Bengali, he'll pick it up. If he's got a maid coming in who sweeps and swabs the floor and talks to him every day for about 20 minutes, or if he's going down to play and all the children are talking in Telugu, he'll pick up that language, and he will pick up the language that is being spoken at home, which could be Gujarati, and so this child will have 2-3 languages that he is able to transact in. He may not know the literature, but he'll be able to do basic conversations in these languages. That is the genius of the human brain as far as language learning is concerned. So we need to know that. There is a rhythm in languages. There's a particular rhythm with which people talk. If you talk your mother tongue, there's a particular tune. There's a particular poetry in the way in which you sound the words. And that's why it makes you feel so happy in a strange land. When somebody talks your mother tongue, you feel so good, because that music is what you like of the language. When you learn languages, it's very important that we use that rhythm. It can be an Indian rhythm, but it still needs to have the rhythms of the language. You can't go and take English and talk English like you would talk Malayalam. It would be horrible, and you will have difficulties in picking up the language. So the rhythms of English are very, very important for us to catch, and that natural rhythm, people who are native speakers automatically have it. If the child is picking up from that person, he will get the language. So natural rhythms are very important. Then the child will be able to apply the rules and pick up many things. So his mind will extrapolate. So you don't have to teach him all the words under the sun. As I told you, 5 to 10 new words, he'll pick it up very easily. Let's say his dad is sitting on a computer and he's talking about, he says, oh my God, I have to change this mouse. The child will pick up mouse. If he says something like, I think I should close this file, if the boy is sitting and listening to him, there's a lot of computer language he'll pick up. So whatever he hears, he'll pick up. What tells us, what we understand therefore from that is that the patterns of language he must hear. There is a lot of hearing that the child does when he picks up a language. He will also pick up the socio-emotional conventions of language. What is the socio-emotional convention? Suppose I scold you. I wag my finger. I say, Chitra, don't do that. Stop touching it. This language, the expression on my face, the look in my eyes, this is the socio-emotional convention of the language. Children pick it up. So you'll find children, little children talking on the phone like their mothers. And they'll even adjust their sari and their hair depending on what the mother is doing. The language itself might be a lot of babble, may not be able to really put all the sentences together, but it will, if you don't really listen, it will almost look like she's having a big conversation on the phone. So she's picked up the socio-emotional conventions and actions of language. Shh, quiet. This gesture. So that whole body language is something that children should be encouraged to learn because they'll learn fast. Finally, mother tongue acquired grammatically by 2. All human beings, you can be speaking a very hard pictorial language like Cantonese. You can be speaking Norwegian, or you can be speaking Russian, or you can be speaking Sinhalese. I don't know, any language in the world which might seem to you like such a hard language is picked up by those kids by the time they are 2. So it's a miraculous age, that pre-primary age. And remember, there was no formal teaching at all. So therefore, this is the nature of the child. Now I want all of us to have a think about what we do to this child when he enters the pre-primary years. If you have children at home, take a look at their books, take a look at their curriculum, take a look at what they are doing as far as language is concerned, and think about whether that program that you've got in place is encouraging, is promoting curiosity, playfulness, activity, imagination and creativity. So next time we will talk about the classroom, pre-primary classroom, and what happens in there to this child who has at 3 years gone bright-eyed and bushy-tailed into the classroom. So till we meet again, keep smiling. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell notification and write your comments in the comment box. Thank you.